Okay, so I was just watching a video by TISA Tells. TISA Tells is a Sussex friendly channel. She typically, when she does make videos about Harry and Meghan, she's very much a supporter of Harry and Meghan, and that's how I found her channel. And so I love TISA for that, right? But we're often on different sides of other issues, I find. She's very prosecutorial. I don't know if she's a lawyer. I don't think she is, but if she is, she clearly is a prosecutor type of a girl. And I'm more of a defense. That's my instinct, is defense. I don't think everything is defensible, right? And so there are some people and some things that I'm just like, whoa, this is too much, even for me to find a reason that you should be pardoned or whatever. But as a general rule, I am definitely defense. And so she is coming down hard on Tyler Perry. And basically, she said in this video that he should have settled because his entire empire is at risk. And I agree with her. His entire empire is at risk, but I disagree that he should settle. I don't think he should settle. I think settling this lawsuit would be a disaster for Tyler Perry's reputation, right? If he wants to preserve his reputation and deter other claims, like literally, a groundswell, an avalanche of fake claims against him, which will happen the second he settles this lawsuit, you'll have everybody and their brother and their grandpa coming at him saying that he did this and he did that. Some of them he may not have even met, never mind touched, but they will come after him, and it will be impossible for him to refute these claims or to, I think, maintain his reputation, right? So I think refusing to settle sends a message that he will defend his name and his reputation fully and to the end, no matter the cost, the price, in dollars, certainly, because, the price of his reputation is priceless, really. And I think accepting a settlement, even without an admission of guilt, I mean, he becomes Michael Jackson 2.0, right? This can be perceived publicly as paying off to avoid damage, which might, as I said, encourage additional claims against Mr. Perry. I mean, I think it would be a catastrophic mistake, right? In this case, Dixon's suit accuses Perry of you know what, right? I don't have to say it. Apparently, the algorithms don't like these words, so I have to be careful. But I think by fighting the case, Mr. Perry will deter similar lawsuits in the future, and this is very important. The other reason I don't think he should settle is because if, as he says, that these claims are baseless, why pay for claims if they are baseless, right? I mean, his legal team have said that the lawsuit by Mr. Derek Dixon is fabricated, right? And they have indicated confidence that the lawsuit will fail in court. I say hold the line, right? The evidence in this, according to what they're saying, the evidence will be insufficient, the proof will be insufficient, and this guy, the plaintiff, will have credibility issues, right? If what Tyler is saying is true. So hold the line, believe in your defense. Again, he needs to avoid an avalanche of similar suits, right? Settlements often include like confidentiality clauses and stuff, or at least maybe interpreted as implied liability. Like he settles, therefore people assume, there was something there, and they will always his reputation will be shot, right? For someone in Perry's position who is widely known, he's a public figure, he's a business owner, he has so much to lose. I think a settlement will create a precedent that he doesn't want, right? Or it will imply risk of more suits. As I said, an avalanche of more suits. Most of them are going to be fake, if not all, right? So by resisting settlement, which is easier, just make it go away. I don't want to deal with this headache. This is beneath my dignity, etc., etc. but resist settlement, Mr. Perry, because it's the only way to avoid creating like a template, right, for future money hungry plaintiffs, frankly, some of whom, again, you've never even met, to seek similar payouts. Or he may have met them, he worked with them, 25 years ago. You're going to hear about it. It's just like stop the avalanche before it even happens. I mean, look, this guy, Mr. Dixon, Derek Dixon, he's asking for $260 million. This is not chump change, okay? This is a lot of money, right? Now, settling could cost less, right? I mean, imagine tens of millions versus 260 million. He may settle for 50 million or something like that. Derek will be set for life, which is the whole idea. When you're going to sue somebody for 260 million, you want to be set for life. It's like a lottery win, right? Now, if Tyler Perry believes that the ultimate judgment will be lower than the cost of settlement plus reputational damage plus ongoing litigation costs, then look, fighting might be financially rational as far as I'm concerned, right? Also, by litigating, he might force Mr. Dixon to bear higher legal costs and risks. I mean, I don't know if Derek Dixon is paying his lawyers or if he's doing this on contingency. So he pays contingent on winning, right? Versus paying out of pocket. Now I'm sure they took it on contingency, but by litigating, I think Tyler forces um, Derek to bear the higher legal costs and risk, which could lead to a lower settlement or dismissal later on, right? If he bides his time. And also, I think by continuing to litigate to the end, there's the opportunity for exoneration and vindication, which when you're Tyler Perry, I think is what you really need, right? Is to be exonerated and to be vindicated, right? A successful defense, that is complete dismissal or ruling in Tyler's favor, will yield vindication, which he needs here, right? Not just avoiding the payment, but clearing his name, right? Clearing his reputation, getting his reputation back, and preserving his brand as well, right? This is very, very important, right? For someone whose public persona and business, example, Tyler's production studio and his brand, all of that depends on goodwill and public trust. People look at him as a comedian, they want to laugh and so on. But if he settles this lawsuit, they start to look at him as like a dirty old man, like, it's just this filth. There's something, he loses his cachet, then it starts to hurt the bottom line. People just stop watching his movies because every time they look at him, they just think of the filth, right? So, I mean, why is it filthy? It's filthy because if indeed he is harassing people and assaulting people, when in fact his reputation is the opposite. He's a nice guy. I mean, Oprah loves him. He's trustworthy. Harry and Meghan are his friends. He has a very good reputation. And I think settling this case will destroy that completely because it leaves doubt in the mind of many in the public who believe in him and who want to see him exonerated and vindicated. I don't think he should settle this lawsuit. I'm sure behind the scenes, his lawyers are probably advising him to do that. I'm sure even he's thinking, "Oh my God, I don't need this. This is humiliating. It's just training. It's just stupid. It's beneath my dignity. I want this to stop. I want it to go away." But I think he should see this lawsuit to the very end. Force the plaintiff, Mr. Dixon, to prove these allegations, right? Prove it, right? Because if he doesn't do that, if he fails to make this man prove it, if he fails to allow himself to be exonerated and vindicated, he's opening up a Pandora's box, not just for his reputation, but also for his brand, not just his personal reputation, but also his brand, his business, his production company, everything, right? And so I disagree with TISA tells on this. Do not settle this lawsuit, Tyler. If I wake up one day and you settle this lawsuit, I'm going to be very upset because I think it's just bad strategy, right? It's very bad strategy. You have to see, as painful as this is, you have to see it to the end and you have to show the public this is a lie. There's no proof that this happened. This man and I, we were friends. I mean, whatever. But all of it was consensual, right? I never forced him to do anything. I never offered a quid pro quo to him. I never harassed him. This is not my ammo. I don't do that. I have never done that to anybody, right? I'm a target because I have money. And this guy said, how do you stop a billionaire? He's after my billions, right? And he's not well, and et cetera, et cetera. This is going to have to be Tyler's argument. But settling this case, I just think is a huge mistake. Don't do it.